and she back and relax while you get advice that will take you to the next destination in your career or business. And now, Katrina Brittingham. Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Katrina Brittingham, and we are back for another installment. And I'm hoping I'm pointing in the right direction this time with my handsome co-host, Dr. Love. And I finally pointed in the right direction. If you
Oh,
can see my fingers.
I can see him. You did it right.
We are doing a love section. We are a week behind with that. All my
Yes.
fault. Needed to rest and recuperate after the Executive GPS Leadership Conference. It was
Hmm.
an awesome conference, but it wore me out. so, so I needed to take some
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to get it all together.
Are you rested? Because last Monday I got your text. Did you rest?
I did. I went to sleep right after that text. I was so
Okay.
tired.
Great, great, great.
Yes, so I got some needed rest. I took the week off, so it was no shows last week. And I did that so I could be the best for our audience and for my co-host. I wasn't sitting there dragging or
Yes.
yawning.
Hmm.
Um, I had a lot going on this year with the conference and other things that were going on all at the same time simultaneously. And so it just really just took me out. So you have to listen to your body. We talked about that in one of the segments. You got to listen to your body
Important.
and lay it down when your body is saying lay it down. Um, I went a little bit too far to the point of exhaustion, only because of the things that were going on with COVID. I didn't have as much staff as I did the year before, and
Okay.
so I was doing everything by
That's good.
myself. What people didn't know was that I was behind the scenes doing the engineering and everything. So I was orchestrating everything, getting everybody together, and I hosted and everything. And I didn't do any of that last year.
Miss
So
Miss
um,
Katrina doing all Brittingham.
yeah, I was doing too much. And my body was like, yeah, you need to lay it down. So that's exactly what I did. And I'm not going to hold you too long. And I'm going to let Dr. The Real Deal Love come in with his love topic.
Ah,
Woo.
yes, yes, yes. We have a great topic tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited for our listeners tonight because our topic, I've been at this for a while, and each round you learn something. I was with a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, and he was telling me. I mean, he's been around a while, but he said, "I'm learning something today," and I said, "As long as you're learning something, you'll never get old. It's always something new to learn." Okay. So I
Mhm.
learned tonight our topic. Here's our topic for tonight, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about it. Should I take a class on men, relationships, and love? Should I take a class on men, relationships, and love? And I thought about some of the challenges that I've heard women go through. I was at an event and I was talking with a group of women at my table, and I said this. I said a lot of women, when they deal with their man or when they take on a man, they really don't know who they're dealing with. They don't know what he's capable of, and they don't know the power that's available to them. They don't know who they're dealing with. They don't know what he's capable of. They don't know the power that's available to them. Then I got an email that a lady scheduled an appointment with me, and as we started talking, I didn't know who it was, but as we started talking, she said, "Doc," she said, "what you said to me at the luncheon really resonated." She said, and listen to what she said. She said, "I have been married for 20 years,
Mhm.
and I really don't know my husband. I don't, I mean, we together. I know he likes collard greens. I know he likes cornbread. I know his favorite color. But she said, I really don't know. I really don't know my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And that took a lot for her. That took a lot for her to say that. And then I started talking about what it took for her to call me and set up that session. You know, she said, "Do you know how many times I talked myself out of booking this session and then canceling it and then booking it? Do you know what I went through just just and I mean, I'm already married.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a need for me to be a little bit more transparent with what I don't have or what I don't understand?
Mm-hmm.
So she went back and forth with herself on it. I said, I know it took a lot for you to book this appointment and to be on this call. She said, it took a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So having said that, I understand women, a lot of women are at that place where I told a young lady one time in an event, I said, there's two important questions that every woman must ask herself and she must answer it. The number one question is, what will you spend your life doing? That's the
Mm-hmm.
question every woman has to ask herself. The second question is not a must because if you don't get married, if you're not interested in a relationship, you don't have to ask it. But if you're interested in a man, the second question is, who will I spend my life with?
Yes.
Okay. The first question is, what will I spend my life doing? What is your call? What is your purpose? What is your why? And the second question is, who will I spend my life with? Two most important questions that a woman can ask. Okay.
Yes.
Two most important questions. And the reason I thought the reason I thought it would be good to kind of like talk about that because when I asked the question when I first put my course together, I asked the question on Facebook. I said, have you ever taken a course on men? One lady texted me like quickly, no, I don't need no course on men. No, I don't need no course on men. I know all I need to know. And that may be true for her, but there are a lot of women that really would like to know, that really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about taking a course on men, the reason that is so important, and Katrina, you can jump in when you feel like it. The reason that is so important because a man and a woman coming together is such a natural process.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You look at a boy and a girl in high school. The boys is always pulling on the girls, the girls always pulling on each other. They always wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't really know how to say I like you, so they
Mm-hmm.
always wrestling. It's just so natural. You know what I'm saying? I was 7 years old and I had a girl at my church that I liked. You know what I'm saying? Seven. It's just so natural.
7.
Seven. you know? So it's such a natural process for a man and a woman to come together,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so unnatural for them to stay together.
Mm-hmm.
See, coming together is natural, but to stay together, you got to know something.
And staying together is the work.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Staying together, because we talked about that on the last episode. When a man and woman comes together, you're bringing everything to the table.
Yes.
You're bringing everything to the table. All of your insecurities, all of your strong points, what I mean, all of your faults, all of your learning disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
uh, all of your situations that you haven't told anyone about. See, so much is on the table. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes down to a man and woman coming together, it's so natural. It just feels so good. What I mean, when you meet the man that excites you, I mean, time just stands still. It's like, my wife and I,
Mm-hmm.
we dated in high school. My wife is, that's my high school sweetheart. And, I would go to her house before I would go to work. My father had a store, and I would go to her house. He opened the store from 8 o'clock in the night, 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning. And that was my shift to go work from 8 to 1. I would stop at her house at 7 o'clock and we would talk for about an hour. And next thing I look at, it was 12:30. I missed my whole shift just talking with her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Time, time went like that.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when you come together, it's so wonderful, it's so exhilarating, it's so exciting, but it doesn't stay that way.
Right. That's the honeymoon period. The
That's the
honeymoon period
honeymoon
has a
period.
lot of honey in it.
Oh, it's a lot of honeymoon. A lot of ladies, you know what I'm saying? You get together with each other, you be like, hi,
Mm-hmm.
doing, I mean, it's just bliss. And sooner or later, oftentimes sooner rather than later, the relationship takes a dive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it takes a dive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why? It takes a dive because neither, and I think I said this the last time we were talking, Katrina, because the number one mistake that men and women make in a relationship, this is number one. Men, first of all, a man does not know. Okay, men, as a general rule, don't know that there's no such thing as an ordinary average woman.
That's right.
Okay. M- You know, we'll miss it time and time again when it comes down to the woman and what she's capable of, we'll miss it every time. And what a woman misses that there's no one, nothing, no circumstances, no obstacles, nothing influences the man and impacts the man like the woman. No one. All right. And I'm gonna add one more thing, and I want y'all to remember this. No one, nothing, no circumstance, no situation, no obstacles affect the man like the woman. That's including God. That's including God. Okay? Did y'all hear me? Okay. And that's so important to understand because I tell this story all the time, and I'm gonna make it real short tonight. Is Adam was given the charge. Adam was given the responsibility to man the garden, to eat of the tree
Mm-hmm.
of the garden, any tree he could eat of the garden, but of the tree of knowledge and wisdom, he said, Adam, you can't eat it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's all. Every other tree you can eat, but not this tree. And how many of you know Eve was deceived and she ate of the tree, and it says she ate of the tree and she took it and she also gave it to her husband, and he did eat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Adam was not deceived, but Eve
No.
was. Okay. Eve was deceived. Okay, because she thought the fruit was one desire to make one wise,
Mm-hmm.
it was unto the eye. Okay. So she was deceived, but Adam was
Mm-hmm.
deceived. And that's why God, when it comes down to woman, God holds a backseat even to woman, because here's what Adam said. Adam said, I know the charge that God gave me, but I
Mm-hmm.
would prefer to disappoint God and turn my back on my creator than to live without Eve. Ladies, that's power. That's power. And that's the power that most women enter into a relationship unaware of, not knowing how to, why to, when to, and what to do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, having said that, I asked the question, have you ever taken a class on men, relationships, and love?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because anything you take a class on, you're going to be better. You're going to get better at it. Okay. Anything you take a class on. Okay. If you decide to bake cakes and you say, I'm going to take uh, let's say you didn't even go to an official, let's say you didn't even go to a physical class. Let's just say you go online and take a class online. You're going to be a better, more efficient cake maker if you take a class online than you would if you just go with your own recipes in your head. You follow what I'm saying? So that's the reason tonight I want women to really begin to understand when it comes down to her profession, when it comes down to her career, when it comes down to her business. You've taken a course, you've taken advanced training, you've taken all kinds of workshops, you've done all those things. But now, when it comes down to your love life, when it comes down to that man in your life, do you really know?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you still guessing? Okay.
Interesting.
Are you doing things that you know to do, or are you doing things that your girlfriend says she tried and it worked for her? Okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I tried this, and when I tried this, he did that. You know what I'm saying? Well, does that work for everyone? The same thing doesn't work all the time for everyone.
Right.
Okay, there's no two women that are alike. There's no two men that are alike. Okay, however, there are some principles that are woven through all men and woven through all women, and we've got to get to the point where we really understand women, and men really have to begin to understand his mate, and women have to understand man, have to understand man. Okay, now ask me why.
Why?
Okay, because here's the two roles of the relationship. These are the two roles. We got role number one and role number two. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the role of the woman. Okay, let me make sure my mic is feedback. The woman in the relationship, the woman is the driver. If the relationship is going anywhere, the woman is the driver. The man in the relationship, he is the ultimate unparalleled. He's unparalleled. He's the power of the relationship. He's the power in the relationship. He's the power
Mm-hmm.
of the relationship. It's like the gas in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? When you hit that accelerator, if there's gas in the car, it's going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
But now the driver determines whether or not the car is going to Atlantic City, Wildwood, or Chicago. Okay, so you've got to understand the driver, and you've got to understand the power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the driver is absolutely determining where we're going. A lady wrote in to one of my colleagues, and that's one of the things that I really, I pay attention to what's going on in the relationship arena, and I pay attention to Steve Harvey, I pay attention to April Mason. Who else is there? Jeff, what's his name? Michael Baisden, Tony
Mm-hmm.
Gaskin. I'm aware of what's going on, and I listen at all the questions that women write in. Women writing in questions, asking questions, and what about this and what about this, and you know, and here's what a colleague said to me one time. I'll never forget Clay Dillon. He came into Philadelphia from California. He
Mm-hmm.
said to me, once the truth is told, there's no more questions.
Right.
Once the truth is told, there's no more questions. So when you see a woman that has another question, another question, another question, you would say, have you taken a have you taken a class? Have you done any independent study, or are you still operating with the same stuff from 2019? You understand? Because you still have questions. Questions is indicating that there is something missing from your understanding of men,
Mm-hmm.
relationships, and love. There's something missing. It doesn't take nothing from you. It's just something missing. Okay. And when you get to the point where you start determining, you say, I want this. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I want. Those are two things. I want a successful career. I want a business that's thriving, and I want my love. I want my man by my side. I want my man by my side. Those are two of life's most crowning experience. Love happens to be Being in love happens to be the number one coveted place in life. Somebody say, listen, I haven't even arrived at my success in terms of my business or my career. She said, but honey, my man love me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My man
Mm-hmm.
supports me. You can go somewhere when you got somebody supporting you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Katrina.
Absolutely.
Come on, Katrina, you can do it. I believe
Absolutely.
in you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, April, you can do it. When you got your man cheering for you,
Mm-hmm.
you understand what I'm saying? It's only a matter of time before your career and everything else takes off because he believes in you.
Right. And you have someone speaking into your life. There's a
Yes.
difference, and I'm gonna say this is we're at the middle. We're about to go to commercial. So before we wrap up this segment and go into the second half, um, having someone speak into your life, and this is the powerful thing about having a man or a woman in your life, but not just any man or any woman, the right one, because the right one will speak into your life.
Hmm.
And I know for myself, I started seeing when I had the right one in my life and
Hmm.
how when he spoke, it was different.
Hmm.
When he spoke, things, I'm not going to say change, but happen in the way that it was supposed to happen,
Hmm.
as opposed to, you have someone in your life and they're in there and then things are not working. And I'm not talking about necessarily the relationship, but yes, the relationship too. But even in business, if you have someone that's in your life and every time you do something it falls through, then that maybe you need to start having a conversation with that person so you can either get on the same accord, or maybe that person was never equally yoked with you in the first place.
Hmm. Hmm.
And these are principles that they even talk about in business. When you have the right person, there's a reason why they call people power couples. That means they were meant to be with each other. They drive each other in matters of business and life.
Hmm.
And so sometimes when a woman has questions, especially in a relationship, it all boiled down to what Dr. Love said: is the truth being told?
Hmm.
Because when a woman has a question in her mind, that means something that's going on in the relationship, something that's being said is just not adding up.
Hmm.
So it's causing us to question, wait a minute, but this, and what about this? And what about this? And
Hmm.
sometimes it is a lack of knowledge, and sometimes it's just that person just not being honest and truthful about what's going on, what they feel. And on the other side, for a woman, if a man has a whole bunch of questions about this woman, then that means that there's some truth that's not being spoken.
Hmm.
There means there's some deception that's going on. If I have to question you, and I always said this in relationships with friends, with in romantic relationships, if I have to question you, then I can't have you in my life.
Hmm.
And I mean it, meaning in if everything is like, what's the motive? Or why did they say? Oh, why did they do? If I have to consistently be on my guard to question you over and over because what you're doing doesn't make sense or it's not hitting my spirit correctly.
Hmm.
Some people might call it discernment, some people call it intuition, whatever it is you call it, spidey senses, whatever you call it. Something, if someone is not being truthful, if someone's not being honest, if someone is not in your best interest, you're going to pick that up.
Hmm.
We are beings of energy, like you said. You in one show we had, we give off energy. People call it vibes, or
Hmm.
my spirit. I could feel your spirit. All these are things that people, I've heard people say. You can tell when something is off.
Hmm.
It don't matter how much the person lying, say, "Oh, everything's great." I can tell something is off, and that's what happens in a lot of relationships. And then because people are not truthful and honest, it leads to a lot of hurt. And so then now you have what we like to call baggage that you're taking
Okay.
from these relationships for people not being honest. And sometimes it's not the other party. Maybe they are being honest and truthful, and you're not being honest about what's happening in a relationship.
Hmm.
And so we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be honest of what's really going on in a relationship if someone is truly there for us. And I'm wrapping this up, and we're going to go to break, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to let Dr. The Real Deal Love comment on what my comments were.
We'll be back.
From one-on-one executive coaching to our business building concierge service, Venture Ready helps entrepreneurs, startup executives, and business owners build, scale, and run their businesses using techniques that support stability and long-term growth. Through the Career GPS radio show and High Tea with Me TV program, we promote smart business strategies for the real world. Then, in our one-on-one coaching programs, we help entrepreneurs go beyond the vision board to realize their big vision into a tangible business with a promising future. If you're waiting to feel legit, here's the thing: you have to legitimize yourself. It's time to stop treating your business like a hobby. Get real, it's your career. So let me ask you, are you venture ready?
All right. So that was the parent company of Venture Ready Broadcasting Network, which is Venture Ready LLC. And it houses everything that you see, the conference and everything. That is the parent company by which everything has been born. Thank
Ah,
you so much for for supporting. I have to say that because I've had people who have supported me from the beginning, and I never would have imagined being where I am today. I started out with one piece, and I now have three distinct businesses under the umbrella of Venture Ready LLC, and it would not have been possible without the support of my viewers. It wouldn't have been possible without the support of everyone who supported me. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're
absolutely,
back.
absolutely. And the thing about it is, they looked at you and thought that you were worthwhile investing and supporting.
Yes.
So that says a lot about you. And I was just thinking as you were speaking. We were talking about things that are happening in the relationship. So, and
Hmm.
that's a coin that you want to flip on both sides. What's happening in the relationship, and then the
Hmm.
other side of the coin is what's not happening in the relationship.
Absolutely.
And I say that because I always say your greatest opportunity in life is to grow and develop as an individual,
Hmm.
as a person. You know, that's your greatest opportunity, more than anything else, because how you grow and develop affects your business, it affects your career, it affects every relationship, it affects your love life. It impacts everything. Okay.
Hmm.
So when we talk about that significant person, that man in your life, that woman in your life, we want to begin to help you understand the importance of setting healthy boundaries.
Hmm.
See, that is so important to have established healthy boundaries, because healthy boundaries are guidelines to give you, listen, if you cross this line, then that's an indication to me. We can begin to
Exactly.
read, you know what I'm saying? We can
Hmm.
read into your behavior or your thinking or your motive or your intent. you start reading some things in. Okay. And that is so important to set healthy boundaries. I was talking with one of my angels, and she was dealing with this. She's, ladies, you probably know this, but this is worth mentioning. When a
Mhm.
man and a woman work together in close quarters, something happens.
Mhm.
Okay. You probably already know that, but that's just worth mentioning. Okay. Now you can let it go wherever you want to let it go, but there's a certain connection. When
Mhm.
a man and a woman work together in close quarters, something happens. Okay. It's not a coincidence that a lot of men wind up running off with their secretaries. It's not, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not a
Mhm.
coincidence that Jeff Bezos is now divorced. Okay. And who did he take up with? His secretary. Okay. Bill Gates is now divorced. Okay, I don't know who he took up with, but now divorced. Okay,
Mhm.
so when a man and woman comes together and work in a close place, something happens, and you want to know.
Mhm.
Okay, now the reason I was sharing that with you because one of my angels called me and she was telling me that she's working with this guy in the office, and he's attractive guy. I mean, she's attractive girl, and it's always, he always tells her how wonderful she is. You know what I'm saying? How
Mhm.
talented she is. She's like, oh, he said he'd be like, oh, you're just such a good woman. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
so she just eating all this up. I'm all this and a bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? She's loving all the attention and all the compliments, but then she gets to a point where she says, he said all this and said all that, but he didn't ask me out. So now she's going, hmm, you know, Brenda, Brenda, you're such a beautiful woman. You're so smart. You're so talented. You know what I'm saying? Brenda says, all right, well, if Brenda's all that, how come you ain't hit Brenda up for a date or something? You know what I'm saying? How come you ain't asked Brenda for them digits? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So she was just kind of like wondering, and she said it on some of my sessions, so she knows Dr. Love's system. You know what I'm saying? I have a system. You know what I'm saying? It's the science of love, and I'm gonna tell you tonight, ladies, you've got to know this. And you may want to differ from it, you may want to go against it, but here's the Dr. Love's philosophy. This is my system. A woman always makes the first move, and never, never, never the second move. Never. Okay. The woman always makes the first move and never the second. Okay. Did y'all get that tonight? If you got it, tap in the chat. I got it, Doc. Now you got to have the rest of the program to understand it. What is the first move? Her first move. The first move is to be seen. That's the first move. Okay. Those of you who are Bible students, y'all know the story of Esther. Esther got out there and she got what? Seen.
Mhm.
That's the first move. That's a woman always makes the first move, never the second. Okay. Once you make the first move, it's up to the king. All right. Did y'all get that? Okay. It's up to the king. The queen can't make two moves. You can't do it. It's a no. When you make two moves, I said, Doctor, I said, time out. Come to the bench. It's a huddle. Time to meet. We got to
Come to
talk.
the bench.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. We got to talk. Okay. So she made the first move. All the compliments came in, all the accolades, but never the date, never the phone number, never the let's get together after work. So she's like, hmm, I know what Doc said. So she's kind of like thinking. So she said, well, I know what Doc said, but I'm so close. Maybe I'll just go ahead on and make the second move too.
No.
What you say, Chris? Chris said,
No.
no, no, angels, angels. That's why I'm doing this. And I love it. No, you can't. You can't. I mean, you know, see, that's why I gave you tonight the power. You're dealing when you deal with a man, you are dealing with the most sophisticated species ever to set foot on planet Earth. He knows he gave her all those compliments.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he knows she walked by him and be like, oh, oh, she smells, what I mean, all the compliments. Oh, what are you wearing? Chanel. Whoa, God. What are you wear? Where are you, all those compliments, but never, you understand what I'm saying? Never just coming out and, a woman starts to kind of like, you know, come on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, so that's why I asked, have you ever taken a class on it? Because in class we talk about being positioned,
Mm-hmm.
being poised, being powerful. You understand what I'm saying? See, poised, positioned, powerful.
Mm-hmm.
See, you you got to be able to stand your ground. You got to be able to stand your ground no matter how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks like, a lady said this to me. Oh, he's too shy. I may need to take things into my own hand.
Mm-mm. He not that shy.
Very good. Very good. He ain't he ain't and I like the way you said this. With all that grammatically correct English, he ain't that he ain't that shy.
Mm-mm.
You see? He ain't that shy. And that's why it's so important to begin to understand. And that's what I'm working on. I'll be telling you about my first masterclass. Just to begin to help you to understand when it comes down to that man. That's the reason relationships, and I was writing this down the other day. You wouldn't find it difficult to name me 5 friends, male or female, that are in a relationship that says this relationship is thriving, it's going to where it needs to go, and he he asked to marry me. I'm just deciding on, if I'm going to. You know what I'm saying? You would be hard pressed to give me a good 5 or 10 that are just in a successful, fun-loving relationship, taking the turns that it needs to take, going where it needs to go, delivering the experience that it needs to deliver to both him and to her.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And the reason we're having it is because she never took the class. Now the woman said, "Oh, well, what about the man? What about the man taking the class?" I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should share this tonight, but I said I wanted to share because I wanted to add value. I wanted to add value to our listeners. And in a relationship, okay, I'm going to give this to you. In a relationship, the male and the female relationship, a man is biologically designed to suffer in the relationship. So what that looks like is you can be in a relationship with a man, and y'all could be half speaking. Sometimes relationships get like that. When you're in a relationship, you don't even like them no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you say his feet stink, his breath stink. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't even like the way he wears his hair. You know what I'm saying? Because the relationship just took on a whole new turn. At first he was cute and he was all that. But once you get to know him, you be like, I don't even see what I liked in him. You understand what I'm saying? You get that way. And the reason you
Yes.
get that way because you begin to see him as he really is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's why y'all start speaking. Y'all walk down the aisle past each other. You're like, y'all see each other in the hallway. Mhm, mhm. You walk past him, he walk past you. We ain't even speaking. That
No good
happens.
morning.
No good morning. Very good. No good morning. You know what I'm saying? How did you rest, honey? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What do you have planned today, dear? None of that. Not even a grunt, like,
Mm-mm.
it gets like
Mm-mm. It
it gets
does.
it gets like that. When a
Yes.
man and woman falls in love, it's heaven on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And when they fall out of love, it's holy hell. I'm telling you. That's what it gets. So they're not even speaking. Okay. And here's the reason that's so important. Because a man will go through the relationship and he's not
Mm-hmm.
getting what he wants and it's not going to where he needs to go to, but he's going to be able to deal with it because the woman is not designed biologically, she's not designed to suffer in a relationship because she's the wound man. She's still man, but she's the wound man. And what she goes through, she passes it on to that person in the womb, her child.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So what she's going through, if she's going through hardship, if she's going through a lot of pain, if she's going through a lot of stress, believe you me, that child is is experiencing the same thing mama's going through because
Mm-hmm.
she's not designed to go through that. She is designed to be made happy, to be cared for, to nurture, to look out for. She's designed that way.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's not, you can see it in her, you can see it in her countenance.
Yes, you can.
You can see you can see it, you can see it in her children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because children are gonna go down with mama even if she wrong. You know what I'm saying? Children going down with mama. Trust me on that, all right? So that's the reason when it comes down to class, it's important for the woman to be in class because if she's in class, she is determining where the relationship is going. She's determining if it's going because the woman is the what? Let me see if y'all are paying attention. The woman is the what?
The womb man.
She's the womb man. But in the relationship, her role is
To be nurtured and taken care of.
okay, that, that's the attributes of the man to bring in her. But what is her role? Her role is it begins
Oh,
with
she's the helpmate.
no, she's the driver. Yep, you
Oh, the car analogy. Yes.
very
Okay.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. She's the driver. Okay. And the
But
man in the relationship, let me see if y'all got very good, the driver,
she
very
was
good.
paying attention. I
The,
was too,
the,
but
guy, the guy was on it. Okay, the woman is the driver, and what is the man? The man is it begins with a P, O, W, E, R.
I was waiting to see if somebody else would put it in there.
Okay,
The power.
very good, very good,
The
very good.
horsepower. The horsepower.
The horsepower. Okay, all right, very good. The power. Somebody got that. Okay, let me just give you this real quick so you'll know. Most of us have electric bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when you pay your electric bill, do you know what you're paying for?
I do.
What are you paying for?
You paying for the electricity,
Hmm.
and you're paying is what do they call it? Because whether you use the electricity or not, they still charge you a fee.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
can't remember what that fee is called, but
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
what I'm paying for.
Yeah. You're right there in it. Okay. When you pay your electric bill, what you're paying for is you're paying to be connected. Okay. You're paying to be connected. You could go away on vacation for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
and not use the electricity, and your bill will be substantially smaller than it would be if you're living there every day.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not paying based on your usage, the ups and the downs. What you're paying for is to be connected. And to
Mm-hmm.
be connected means you can use it whenever you decide.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's what you're paying for. You're paying to be connected so that you can use it whenever you decide.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't pay your bill and you're not connected, do you have the choice to use it? You better get them candles out. You better get your flashlight. Okay? Because if you ain't paid your bill and they cut you off, you're not connected. You don't have the
Right.
option to use it. Okay? So that's what you're paying for. You're paying to be connected. So the reason I share that is because the woman is the driver and the man is the power. What she is connected to, she is connected to the power
Mm-hmm.
to use if she decides,
Mm-hmm.
when she decides, how she decides, in the extent that she decides. See that?
Mm-hmm.
See that woman? See the woman is the nucleus. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I make no bones about it. The relationship revolves around the woman. Men are comfortable with that. My relationship, it revolves around my wife. What do you want, honey? What do you need? Because if she's happy, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
So at your discretion, ladies, is a power available to you to use if you decide.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to begin to understand how to use it. My husband, somebody, okay, somebody says my hubby, my husband agrees. That is that is so important because the man is looking for the woman that knows. That's that's what he's looking for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lady, one of the questions that Tony got in one night, he was a woman wrote it and asked him the question, Tony, how do I find out where the relationship is going?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What is his intentions?
Mm-hmm.
When a woman asks that question, we know she hasn't gone to
School.
very good. She hasn't gone to school. Very good. She hasn't gone to school. Okay. It's it's not up to her to ask where the relationship is going. It's not up to her to ask where it's going. It's up to her to set the precedent of where it's going. Okay. It's up to her to set the precedent. Okay, it's up to her. When a woman decides, my next daughter is she's ready, she's ready to get married. She's on the front line. Uh, I said, where you going, baby? She said, I'm ready to get married. Okay, I'm ready to get married. Oh, you are? Yes, I am. Okay, so the next man that meets her and comes along and says, what do you want to do? You want to sit around and chill? Nah, I ain't about to sit and chill with nobody, all right? All right. I'm not. Oh yeah, somebody says set the course. Yes, yes, set the course. See, that's the driver. Okay. See, so my angels are setting the course. They're setting the standard. They're setting the requirement. And setting the standard and setting the requirement puts you in a place where men sit back and says, "Man, all I got to do is what I do." And what does men do? He supplies the power.
Mhm.
You see, you follow what I'm saying? Finally, I can do what I do. And if he and if you set the course, you say this is where we're going, and he says, I, I don't want to go there. Okay, he says I don't want to go there. That's the reason I gave you earlier, setting healthy boundaries.
Mhm.
When you set boundaries, when you set guidelines, once you see how things are happening, things are coming across in the guidelines, and things are not lining up and things are not adding up. Now you have to make another decision.
Mhm.
You got to make a decision.
Mhm.
Okay, and it's easy. It's easy. I posted one. I wrote in a post one day because women get this notion, and Essence does it. A lot of top magazines do it. They said, it's a shortage of black men. They said most of them is incarcerated. Some of them ain't went to college. Some of they start telling them it's a shortage of good men. There's no shortage of good men. Okay, no shortage of good men. Okay. I asked my angel. I said, how many? I said, how many men do you want? She said, Dr. Love, all I need is all
That's
I need is
enough.
you understand what I'm saying? All I need is one. So
That's
you
enough.
it's a shortage of good men. It ain't 100 of them around. I don't know. Listen, all I need is one, baby. That's all I need. Is one. So just dismiss all that out of your head. Just get all that stuff out your head about there's a shortage of men. I don't know if black women can get married. And it is true. The statistic is true that the percentage of white women that get married is larger than the percentage of white women. That is true. Latino women, same thing. The statistic is true there, but things are changing now because you have Dr. Love on the scene. And with Dr. Love on the scene, my goal, and that's the reason I asked the question to women, have you ever taken a course on men, relationships, and love? Okay. Just that order. Men, relationships, and love, because it has to progress like that. Just man on man, woman on man. You've got to understand that. The relationship, just the male and female relationship. We want to be friends first before we become lovers.
Yes, that's so important. And I have to cut in because we are at the top of the hour. It is 8:55.
Time
So
clock.
I have to be that time clock. But
And
you said some
you're so good at it.
you said some very good things. And I would admonish those who need to take the course that you do so. That you need that you, if you need to go to school, that you do so, because these are some things that were taught when I was coming up. I have a little bit of years um on me. And so there that are not told anymore, that are not taught. Because the women are the drivers, and my uncles told me that. My brother, my father, that you do set the course.
Mm,
You are the driver. That man is not going to do anything that you don't set into motion,
hmm
that you don't stir him to.
hmm
And what some people fail to realize is that you stir him with your actions
hmm
of how he's going to treat you.
hmm
And so if you people are going to get mad at me. Yeah, they are. But
Have people been mad at you before?
yeah, that's why I said it's okay. I'm used to it now. Um, Dave Chappelle said something in one of his comedy sketches that I found very, it was funny, it was comical, but it was so true.
Mm-hmm.
He said something about a woman and her dress. And he was like, he mistook the person because of how they dress as being loose. And I'm going to say it that way.
Okay.
And the person was like, I'm not loose. You can't say that I'm loose just because what I have on. He said, that's absolutely true. He said, however, if I came in here dressed up like a cop and something happens, like, oh my goodness, you're a cop. He's like, I may look like a cop, but I'm not a cop. Then you would be upset. And so he was like, at the same thing, you may not be loose, but you're wearing a loose woman's costume.
Okay. Okay.
And I laughed, but then I thought about that and I was like, wow. And
Wow.
so you may not look like what you may not be what you look like or what you're presenting out.
Mhm.
There
That's
it is.
yeah.
To a man or to men.
Right.
But if you're presenting that, if you're getting those results, maybe you need to take a look at what you're presenting.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Love said when he was talking, he was like, oh, maybe I need to make the first move. He's shy. I've met bold men, shy men, short men, tall men, fat men, short men, built men, skinny men. If they want to ask you out, they will do it. You do not have to. They're not that shy. They not. They are
Yeah.
not.
You're not that shy.
And so, but sometimes they'll test you to see if you'll take that extra step because
Mm-hmm.
they're deciding what category to put you in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at first, I had to listen closely when my dear doctor friend said that the woman makes the first move. I'm like, where is he going with this?
Okay.
My ears was perked up when he was like, make yourself seen. Yes, because I can be seen. I make myself presentable and I'm seen.
Mm-hmm.
Once I am out there, it is up to him to make the move.
Ooh.
Now, it could also be seen if he doesn't make the move, it means that he probably does not want to make the move for
Oh.
whatever reason.
I feel a song coming on. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? All right, now let me get back.
But we are at the top of the hour. So, and that's why I love this because you get the male point of view and the female point of view, a relationship counselor, and just somebody who's been in relationships.
Yeah. Experience.
um,
You know what they say. This is a bit of wisdom. They say experience is the best teacher,
oh yes,
but it doesn't have to be all your experience.
exactly.
You can learn from other people's experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you're bringing your experience to the table, which is valuable.
Yes. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Those who will be joining us through the replay, you can still make your comments. We will be commenting during the week and everything like that. So please, 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 and reach out to Dr. Love if you need some relationship advice. And we will see you next week.
Goodbye for now.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of High Tea with Me. To be a guest on the show, contact us via email info@ventureready.net. Thank you again and see you next week.